Hello, my name is David Gieber. As many of you might be aware of, over the past few years, a lot of schools and districts have been cutting programs from their schools due to budget cuts, and just for other various reasons. One of the major programs to be cut is either sports or physical education. The argument I'm going to be presenting you today is that it is more beneficial for schools to keep their physical education programs than to cut them, for the following three reasons. Firstly, students who do active and stay active actually do better in school, studying and working. Secondly, it will help cure our nation's health problems. And thirdly, exercising has been shown to increase happiness in general. So, for students who stay active in school, do better in school. The Journal of Sport and Exercise Psychology has done a study and shown that nearly 200 other studies have examined the impact that either acute or long-term exercise has upon conjugation. What this means is that exercising affects conjugation. What conjugation is basically brain function, how well the brain functions while doing certain things, such as reasoning, awareness, perception. Secondly, the odds of Science Daily found that the odds of passing both the standardized math and English tests increase as the number of fitness tests passed increase, even when controlling for gender, race, ethnicity, and socioeconomic status. By fitness tests, this means that the fitness classes, students who take more fitness classes do better on the standardized math and English tests that are used throughout the system. Even when they were controlling for gender, race, ethnicity, and socioeconomic status, meaning it's not just one particular group of kids or a certain class of students that this affects on, it affects everyone. So as you can see that by having this exercise and having fitness programs increases the test scores and the brain function. Secondly, to help cure our nation's health problems. As we all know, obesity is a major part of America right now. SPARC, a group that has been against obesity since 1989, found that among children ages 6 to 11, there was a 6.5% rate of obesity in 1980, which has increased to 18.6% by 2008. Ages 12 to 19 increased from 5% to 18.1% in the same time period. This is a huge percent of growth over a 28-year period, and it is only getting bigger. So by having fitness classes, we'll be hopefully slowing down or possibly even reversing this process. And some might think, oh, obesity is maybe not that big a problem. Yeah, kids have it, but as they grow older, it'll just go away. But in reality, obese adolescents are 80% more likely to end up as obese adults. Again, from the same website, SPARC. So as we can see, this isn't a problem that's going to be going away, and we can't expect, and because they get it as a child and keep it as an adult, we need to start by solving this problem, starting at as adolescents. Third point, exercise increases happiness. A paper called Subjective Well-Being found that there are 7 main causes of happiness. 1, social contact with friends and others in close relationships. 2, sexual activity. 3, success achievement. 4, physical activity. Exercise, sport. 5, nature, reading, music. 6, food and drink. 7, alcohol. So as we can see, 2 out of 7 of these involve physical activity, sexual activity, and general physical activity. Therefore, we can see that 2 out of 7 of the main causes of happiness involve exercise and therefore have a direct relationship to happiness. This is a good thing to have in school and in the school system, because the happier kids are in school, the better they'll be willing to do. We all students know that if you really hate a teacher or a class, you're probably not going to do too well. You're not going to have a good time studying or working in the class. Whereas if you do like the class and you're happy while taking the class, you'll do better. Secondly, from a book called Is Happiness a Cause of Health?, which was a study showing the connection between exercise and health. Happiness and positive moods influence health and vice versa. Or not exercise, my bad. Is happiness and health. This kind of connects 2 of my points, the fact that exercise increases happiness, which was the past point, and that health will be healthier, that exercise increases health. This connects those 2 by saying happiness and health are actually also directly related. So the happier you are, the healthier you are, which means exercise not only increases happiness, but increases health. And by increasing both of those, you increase them each other as well, doubling the amount of increase in both of those. So by keeping the physical education programs in our school, we will be increasing our test scores and the student learning ability in school. We will be curing our nation's health problems, and we'll be creating a happier nation in general. Thank you.
All right, David, the proposition is stated. You kind of start off with some basic justification for the argument. There's no evidence, though, that PE programs are being cut or that kids don't have access to the physical education that you say they need. And that, I think, is an underlying premise of the argument that has been underdeveloped. The phrasing on the proposition is okay, but I'm not sure that you've got a lot of comparative data to be able to make this inference. The layout of the secondary structure is relatively clear. Like I said, the controversy is a little bit problematic. You signpost as you get to the first point pretty clearly, and you start presenting evidence, and I thought that you had some good information about the importance of exercise for a whole variety of functions. That was fine. You also do a good job citing your evidence. Every time you've got a piece of testimony or some statistical information, you're citing the sources on that. That's good. The transitions between the points, though, is a little bit abrupt. So you sometimes just sound like you've stop at the end of a point, and then the next thing I know, it's point two. So you need to have a little bit of maybe an internal summary, some kind of transition phrase that gets us from one idea to the next, so it flows a little bit more smoothly. I liked, like I said, the research that you had in the speech. What I didn't see was any information, though, in that research that showed that there was a link to a lack of exercise among kids that was causing this obesity issue, or any evidence that showed increased exercise would address this. You talk about obesity as a problem, you talk about the advantages of physical education, but there are presuppositions here that the amount of education that the kids would get or the amount of physical PE that they get in class would make a difference, and that there is something wrong with the amount that they are currently getting, and both of those things I think need a lot more development. All right, thank you. Is there anybody else who didn't get an outline to do a refutation on? Because I just had another one that came in. So everybody's covered who's here. Interesting. When people tell you math always works, you can point to this one. If I got 27 outlines in, then I should be able to send 27 outlines out, right? Somebody is missing. Daniel, you're going to be next, please.